Welcome and thanks for coming by to learn a little bit more about architectural engineering. Architectural engineering, also known as building engineering, is the application of engineering principles and technology to building design and construction. And while your freshman and sophomore years are pretty standard engineering foundations, in your junior and senior year, you're going to get a breadth and be able to focus on areas that include construction engineering management, electrical power systems, mechanical systems, and structural engineering. So what do arch engineers do? They create the designs for systems to support the building and its operation, such as heating, cooling, structural support, and lighting. And they work closely with the structural engineers, contractors, and architects to ensure the functional layout and aesthetics of building projects. So really, you sit between the architects who do a lot of the conceptual design work and the structural engineers who are intended to make the building stand up and really develop this complex engineering that goes on within the building itself to make it all work. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this because it's a relatively new program. We just had our first graduating class this past spring in 2020. This program is offered in partnership with CAPLA, in particular the School of Architecture, and it really is interdisciplinary. So it draws from civil engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering, as well as bringing in some of the design elements from architecture. So this little Venn diagram here is showing you architectural engineering in the middle, civil engineering bringing in the construction engineering management and the structural analysis, electrical engineering bringing in the light, like for example, the building wiring and lighting, mechanical engineering bringing in the HVAC system and controls, as well as some of the other mechanical systems. Now, architecture also plays a role as there's some other design classes that go in there. There's a lighting design class, a bit of a more broader way of integrating various engineering concepts into an overall design as well. And this goes with a unique capstone experience, which is a typical fall-spring sequence like most of the engineering programs. But unlike most engineering, where it's basically the same project all the way through and similar kind of activities all the way through, in the arch engineering program in the fall, it's an architectural design studio. So that's where you're actually going to do true architectural design. You're going to come up with the conceptual design of the building, build an actual model of it, and come up with a lot of the plans and the layouts of it without getting to the engineering details of systems. In the spring, then, you move into how do you actually come up with the specific engineering design of all the multitude of systems that go on within that building to actually make it an efficient and effective building. So as far as careers go, there's two primary places where architectural engineers go. The first one, and probably the most prevalent, is going into some sort of a consulting, construction, or design firm. So there's a multitude of these different firms out there. Some of them are focused on providing design services to a specific sub-area, like structural engineering, or it could be part of a comprehensive firm where everything is all under one roof. So for example, Nathan Palmer, one of our alumni, he works for a company called Structural Grace. They are very much focused on structural engineering. Another option which you see a lot is owner and operator. So this is either sole or co-proprietor of an individual or groups associated with engineering, design, or consulting. So Mel Green, who's one of the advisors to the arch engineering program, he's trained as a structural engineer. He has his own company that does historic preservation. So it's really kind of an architectural engineering firm now. He now would probably be called an arch engineer, whereas when he first graduated, he was a civil engineer. So those are the two primary outlets for where our students go. As far as employment opportunities, as an intern, the majority of our students intern during the summers with a civil or arch engineering firm. Some of them continue that internship throughout the academic year. From a graduation standpoint, since 2018, more than 95% of our students, that's civil and arch engineering, all 4 of our graduates last year do have jobs, have been employed at graduation or accepted into graduate programs. So while most of them move to industry, about 15% go on to graduate school to further their education. And what are some of the other opportunities we have in our department? We have our undergraduate research opportunities. Adrian Cottam here was an undergrad in our program, did research with Dr. Wu. He's now in the PhD program in the program. There's multiple student organizations, more than I have the time to go through. They provide a variety of different activities. The two I want to focus on, though, is they generally participate in some sort of a local or national competition where you get to practice your engineering skill sets, as well as have an opportunity to interact with industry professionals. They also host their own career fair. So the last couple of years, they've actually had more companies coming in with more job openings than we've had graduating students. That's over 45 different job openings. So it's actually a great time to be in civil and arch engineering, so high demand. And then scholarships. So just in this past year, the department itself awarded over $140,000 in scholarships. So this is an above and beyond the opportunities you have at the college and the university level. So again, the department offered $140,000 in scholarships. We also have very strong alumni and industry support. So the development of architectural engineering was in itself driven by our alumni and the needs for the professional community. They said there's a missing skill set out there. We need students with arch engineering backgrounds, and that's where our degree came from. They also come back and serve as mentors. So the two programs I want to mention are the Take 5 program. This is where an industry partner comes in and goes to lunch with 5 students and can talk about what it's like to be in their field and challenges they've had and answer your questions. The other one is the Rise Together program, which is a specific program focused at mentoring our women engineering students. So that's just a brief snapshot of arch engineering. If you'd like more information, please feel free to contact either Karen Van Winkle or myself. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.